One thing I don't believe in is coincidence. The woo.
Madam President, approximately 36 hours ago, PhD candidate Kate DiBiase here discovered a very large comet. Oh, yeah. A comet between 5 to 10 kilometers across that we estimate came from the Oort cloud, which is the outermost part of the solar system. And using Gauss's method of orbital determination and the average astrometric uncertainty of 0.04 arc seconds, we then asked,
Whoa, what the hell is what?
Just tell us what it is.
Seriously, stop.
What Dr. Mindy is trying to say is that there's a comet headed directly towards Earth. And according to NASA's computers, that object is going to hit the Pacific Ocean at 62 miles due west off the coast of Chile.
Then what happens? Is it tidal wave?
No, it will be far more catastrophic. There will be mile-high tsunamis fanning out all across the globe. If this comet makes impact, it will have the power of a billion Hiroshima bombs. There will be magnitude 10 or 11 earthquakes.
You're breathing weird. It's making me
I'm sorry, I'm just trying to articulate the science.
I know, but it's like so stressful. I'm like trying to listen
I
to
don't
it.
think you understand the gravity of the situation. I'm trying to articulate it the best I can. I don't know.
Madam President, this comet is what we call a planet killer.
That is correct.
So how certain is this?
100% certain.
I'm going to make a statement, presidential statement to the American people. And we're not going to tell the press about it ahead of time because that way it'll have the appearance of breaking emergency.
Emergency message from the President of the United States.
Citizens of the United States and peoples of the world, I have just been handed scientific findings that confirm a worst-case scenario. An unprecedented comet, 9 kilometers wide, is now on a direct collision course with our cherished home, planet Earth. Estimated time of arrival is approximately 5 months from now, so we have.
What are you talking about? Massive congressional spending bill?
I have already put together an emergency spending package for Congress.
That the Senate and House have both agreed upon.
Oh, so that's gonna be...
And that would enable NASA and our great military to launch a preemptive strike using decommissioned space shuttles and satellites loaded with nuclear explosives. We will blow Comet DiBiase off our course.
But we're going to need a hero. We're going to need a pilot.
Guns and... Shouldn't this mission be accomplished using remote technology?
Washington's always gotta have a hero.
I have asked Medal of Freedom recipients and outspoken patriot draft.
Georgia Tech, this.
Difficult and
I'm sorry, isn't he the mercenary gentleman that was screaming at all those children on the White House lawn?
Reminds me of the DART asteroid redirect test mission that's going on. Let's review. Who's on target? So, upcoming pretty soon, we have the DART asteroid redirect test. Gotta love NASA. So within, so without. So what people fail to realize about NASA, okay, they project things out, way out in the future. They make you seem like it's so far off that you don't have to worry about it. And then people don't think about like nuclear science and internal science, that our bodies are made up of the same thing. So in other words, what they're talking about is internal, not out in space. It's in your mental dome. Things that make you go, did I miss? Did I miss the blind? Or did I miss the twin? Food for philosophy, thought, and hermetics. So to help me along tonight, I am using my handy dandy, notebook. So let's read. The double asteroid redirect test mission is directed by NASA at the Johns Hopkins Applied Science. That's not what it says. That isn't. Take 2. No, what it said was the Johns Hopkins Applied Physics Laboratory. Yes, that's what it said, with support from several NASA centers. The Jet Propulsion Laboratory, JPL, Goddard Space Flight Center, go get 'em, like Mike Tyson, Johnson Space Center, Glenn Research Center, and Langley Research Center. DART is a planetary defense-driven test of technologies for preventing the impact of Earth by a hazardous asteroid. Now, we've heard this before, so you guys don't freak out like, oh my gosh, he's saying something we've never heard. This has been done before. I'm not telling you anything really new. Nothing new under the sun. But this is the cycle, so we're back here, so let's have a little fun. Okay, so where were we at? Preventing an impact on Earth by a hazardous asteroid. DART will be the first demonstration of the kinetic impactor technique to change the motion of the asteroid in space. The DART mission is in Phase C, led by APL and managed by NASA's Solar System Exploration Program at Marshall Space Flight Center for NASA's Planetary Defense Coordination Office and the Science Mission Director's Planetary Science Division at NASA's headquarters in Washington, D.C.
Wow, just how happy we were back when our astrogeologists discovered and determined that this comet hurtling towards us from deep space actually contains at least $32 trillion of these critical materials, critical to technology.
I'm sorry, is that why you aborted this entire mission? Is because you're trying to mine the comet
Dr.
for
Mindy,
rare
I think
minerals?
we should hold all questions until the end of the presentation. And you might find that the questions are answered.
Yes, Madam President.
When the other metals are factored in, the comet actually contains almost $140 trillion worth of acids.
Fuck 40 trillion.
Yeah.
What do these trillions of dollars even matter if we're all gonna die from the impact?
I was about to ask the same question.
So today is December 11th. And you may be familiar with an asteroid that NASA said would pass through our atmosphere, which is a few things I find interesting and wanted to bring up. So, anyways, it's supposed to break through the Earth orbit today. Okay. So let's think about it. Let's think about the name of the asteroid, the worth of the asteroid, as above, so below, the asteroid O. So to start, the asteroid is named 4660 near us. Near us. 33. Are the 33 near us? I'd say so. Well, more accurately, it's near us. But it's close enough to near us. You get it? So also if we go back in history, Old Man of the Sea, who would that be? Oh, Nereus, Greek, sea god. Who was he? The goddess of wisdom, prophecy, and he had the ability to shapeshift, change shape. So there's a database called AstroRank, which monitors over 600,000 different asteroids. Interesting that they say that they estimate the value of this asteroid to be worth about 4.71 billion. That's a lot of money. So they say that because the asteroid is thought to contain a bunch of nickel, a bunch of iodine, and a bunch of cobalt. No shortage there. So since the early 2010s, astro mining started to really become the thing, like a thing to do. So with SpaceX and Blue Origin and near us, being near us, who got the coin shortage? Never mind. DART is a spacecraft, if I could say it, spacecraft designed to impact an asteroid as a test of technology. DART's target asteroid is not a threat to Earth. Thank you, Mental Dome. Glad to know that, Self. Earth is not affected. This asteroid system is a perfect testing ground to see if intentionally crashing a spacecraft into an asteroid is an effective way to change its course, should an Earth-threatening asteroid be discovered in the future. Nothing new under the sun. Future, past, it's all the same, just a little fun. Okay. While no known asteroid larger than 140 meters in size has had a significant chance to hit Earth for the next 100 years, only about 40% of those asteroids have been found as of October 2021. Then we have the picture, see, if you want to see. The binary near-Earth asteroid 65803, Didymus, is the target for the DART demonstration. Didymus. Okay. While the Didymus primary body is approximately 780 meters across, its secondary body, or moonlet, is about 160 meters in size, which is more typical of the size of asteroids that could pose the most likely significant threat to Earth. The Didymus binary is being intensely observed using telescopes on Earth to precisely measure its properties before DART arrives. The DART spacecraft will achieve the kinetic impact deflection by deliberately crashing itself into the moonlet at a speed of approximately 6.6 kms with the aid of an onboard camera named Draco. How surprising. Draco. It's that season. Anyway, the launch window begins November 24th, 2021. That's very soon, you guys. DART will launch aboard a SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket from Vandenberg Air Force Base here in California. After separation from the launch vehicle and over a year of cruise, it will intercept Didymos's moonlet in late September of 2022, when the Didymos system is within 11 million kilometers of Earth, enabling observations by grounded-based telescopes and planetary radar to measure and change the momentum imparted on the moonlet.
Asteroids and pieces of asteroids all the time. Every year or so we get hit by things maybe the size of a table. The kind of object that DART is going to visit is an object that's about the size of the Washington Monument. Those kinds of objects hit us every few thousand years, and they would cause severe damage on a regional scale.
We chose to do this demonstration at a binary asteroid. It's called Didymos. This is actually approximately the shape of the main asteroid. It's called Didymos A, and its moon, Didymos B. What DART will do is DART will hit the secondary. When it hits the moon, it will change the orbit period. And when it changes the orbit period, it affects the timing of when the moon moves in front of or behind the primary.
Mostly what we're looking to do is change the speed of the incoming object by maybe a centimeter per second or so. So that's not very fast, but if you do it enough seconds in advance, you can cause it to miss the Earth entirely.
DART is a part of a larger collaboration called AIDA, which pulls in all the experts of the world who can help their governments predict and understand what it is that they can do and should do in the event that there was an incoming threat. The DART mission that APL is pulling together will be the first mission in that flight line.
DART is the first mission to fly the next sea ion engine. It is the first mission to demonstrate smart navigation, which means we're going to be guiding ourselves into the asteroid autonomously.
At about 4 hours out from impact, Smart Nav is kicked in, and what it does is it uses the imagery from the optical payload, basically the camera that's on DART, and from the imagery we are able to discern Didymos A from Didymos B. We have a targeting algorithm that differentiates the two, and we are aiming for Didymos B.
The other part of this is the propulsion system that we're demonstrating. The next sea propulsion system is utilizing a new generation of gridded ion propulsion technology, and it's what we're using to allow us to get to the asteroid, but also allow us a flyby of an object prior to our actual encounter.
For these vehicles to be able to supply the power for the electric propulsion engine, we needed higher power output. ROSA allows us to be able to have a very compact and light mass for launch and then deploy these really large arrays once we're out there in space.
Our planetary launch window opens on June 15, 2021, and will impact the asteroid in 2022. We're very excited to be NASA's first planetary defense mission.
Jennifer Lawrence was mortified rapping Wu-Tang in Don't Look Up, the worst day of my life. In Don't Look Up, the new political satire that began streaming on Netflix this week, an astronomer discovers the asteroid that will destroy the planet while she's drinking tea and eating toast and rapping along to the Wu-Tang Clan. So let's just stop right there. To my fellow craftsmen and rocketeers on the KP Wu-Tang podcast, shout out to y'all. Y'all rock. So back to these messages, or back to the article. It is an appropriate way for the writer-director Adam McKay to open his film, which will flirt with the line between wildly dark and wildly absurd for the next 2 hours and change. But in order to nail the opening scene, actor Jennifer Lawrence, who stars as Kate Dabowski, an astronomer grad student who discovers a comet on a collision course with Earth, needed to memorize Wu-Tang Clan's Ain't Nothing to Fuck With. She did, of course, because, well, she's a professional. While speaking at the Don't Look Up virtual press conference on December 5th, Lawrence recalled the memorization process took a couple of weeks, but performing the song on set in front of McKay and the entire crew was another matter entirely. It's not exactly a memory that Lawrence looks back on fondly, because something happened with COVID that ended up being my very first scene. I said very versed. Wow, my apologies. Very first scene, Lawrence said at the press conference. It was horrifying because I'm in this huge hangar and it's so quiet. And I don't know anybody and I have to rap Wu-Tang Clan. It was horrendous. And then when it's the movie, it's like 5 seconds. I really wish I had known that. That day on set was, Lawrence concluded, the worst day of my life. At this point, McKay jumped in to assure Lawrence she did a good job. Hey, I knew my assignment, Lawrence replied. I did know the words, and I still do. At this point, she started rapping the song to prove it. That moment wasn't the only fun McKay had with music and Don't Look Up. Musicians Ariana Grande and Kid Cudi, who played a fictional pop star, and her on-again, off-again boyfriend, respectively, performed a new original satirical song, Just Look Up. The lyrics include a pointed line, "Listen to the goddamn qualified scientists," which feels particularly appropriate right about now. You can hear the full song and its ridiculous glory on YouTube, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so let's take a little look-see. So here we have Miss Lawrence. Then when I think of Jonah, then I think again of Lawrence. What comes to mind? You know, back in her early years, did you know that her very first acting assignment was at the age of 9? You want to know what role she played? Prostitute. She played a prostitute in a church play. Yeah, she did. She was a prostitute. And guess what, though? The Book of Jonah. You don't say. The Book of Jonah. Oh, the Word? Okay, so everything eventually goes back to the Word of God, doesn't it? So what happened in the Book of Jonah? You remember that series? The whole thing? Reflections of God's willingness to forgive those who repent? Yeah, I remember.